Hi guys, Tamika of Custom Woodburning here with another live sales video. Today, you guys, we became an adult and we set up a rewards club. Finally, it is on season 8. I've been sitting on the sidelines this entire time, observing, listening to everybody's trials and tribulations, successes, all these kind of things. You know, cherry picking strategies to incorporate in mine and all this kind of stuff. Been planning it, but just now finally pulled the trigger. And so we're halfway through season 8. Also, I should add, and so fun fact, you don't have to start in the beginning of the quarter. You can start whenever. You could start the day before the quarter's over if you want to. Either way, we finally pulled the trigger. We finally got there. And so I want to share how I have mine set up, and briefly explain a couple of things about it in case it encourages anyone else to kind of adopt some of the logic behind it, I suppose. And so to start off with, if anyone's not familiar with the Rewards Club, is a buyer incentive program on Whatnot. It is a 5-tiered setup system basically that is like progressive in value, and so the more someone spends with you, the higher up they rank in this tiered system. Whatnot has a default Rewards Club tier system, which is based off the metals. So it's like your lowest tier is bronze, and then it goes silver, gold, platinum, diamond, I think is the order, which those metals progress in value as they go up. But they let us sellers pick our own tier names and associated badges. And so there's like this branding opportunity that they offer to us for that, which I did wholly take advantage of. I just happen to have 5 go-to emojis for my operation. The badges look different for everybody, but I also happen to have 5 fairly distinct tiers of like price points of like product type of things that I offer. So it aligned very well, albeit there was some strategy that went into making sure it aligned. However, I will show it, but essentially just to explain how I have mine set up is like the lowest tier, the bronze equivalent tier, I have it set up as the friends. This is the friends because this is the one tier where you don't actually have to make a purchase in order to unlock this tier. If you show up 3 times to watch a show, and if you stay for 10 minutes a piece, then you can unlock this first tier. And so for mine, this is the friends. That's the name of the tier. This is not necessarily the buyers. This is the friends. But if you do purchase something, you just fast track, right? You're one of the friends. If you buy something from me, you're a friend of mine, right? So I want you to have a little badge next to your name because I want to know that you've been in here, that you've either been in here 3 times or you've received a package from me. I want to know that you've had that level of impression. So, but most of the time, you probably coming in 3 times for the Tuesday chat. And so for my first tier, you get the coffee cup emoji that is associated with the Tuesday chat, right? That's the friends. You get the coffee cup, you're here for the tea, probably. So you're one of the friends. I guess we can walk through these together so you can have a look-see with me. So you're one of the friends. I'll talk about the discounts afterward, but they're very simple. So you're watching 3 shows to unlock that one. The next tier is a tree hugger. This is if you're buying wood from me. $10 to unlock, so not much, but I'm selling just regular raw wood for $5-10. And so if you're just coming in, you're buying the wood. If you're coming in and spending $5-10, that's what you're buying. You're buying wood. And so you're a tree hugger in my room, okay? If you're coming in and you're spending like $25, this is the next price point tier in my room. This is like you break into the handmade space. You're a handmade fan. If you're unlocking this tier, you're spending $25. Either you're buying wood, $25 worth of wood, which you're choosing to buy it from a handmade seller, so you're still a handmade fan, or you're buying an actual like personalized product, like a card holder with your username on it, for instance, or art holder, something like that. Purple Heart is like a handmade icon type of thing that we kind of came up with. And so you get the purple heart. So if I see purple hearts in my chat, I know that they are fans of Handmade, right? So these icons that I choose communicate something to me aside from communicating to the viewers, right? And the buyers. Customs Club is tier 4, custom wood burning, right? So I do custom work. If you're buying a custom from me, you're spending minimum, bare minimum of $50. And that's bare minimum. You get a fire emoji though, because if you're coming in buying customs from me, we're like this, okay? We're like this. You're like, I freaking love this work. And I'm like, I love you too. And you're getting a fire from me, right? And so you're in the customs club, okay? Whether you spend this much or you buy a custom, you're in this club. I want to see you in the chat with that fire emoji, okay? And then the collectors, this is like your top tier for my room, Gold Star. This associates, so the $50 associates minimum cost for custom work, and then $100 for the Gold Star. This associates with art, right? True original heat gun art, you're looking at an extra digit. This is the art collectors pocket right here. This is the tier for art collectors. Even if you're not buying art specifically, if you're spending over $100, I want you to have a Gold Star next to your name, because I want to see, again, I use these badges for my personal selfish identification reasons, so I can see easily who's in my chat. I can see who has spent $100 with me. I can see who spent $50 with me collecting a bunch of stuff or art, getting customs, getting handmade stuff, getting wood, or getting the tea, right? That's what these icons mean to me. And I just want to show, highlight the difference in color coding. These are my regular emojis, so it's like kind of unintentional, but it works out this way, but I encourage color coding. This is white, green, purple, orange, and gold, right? And so these icons, when they're in chat, they're so tiny that color coding makes it way easier to see which ones they are. If they're all blue with different verbiage in them, impossible to tell the difference. And so that's why they're like that too. And they're just real simple. Emojis are simple, really easy to identify. So that's what I got for the tiers. We're going to see how this works through the quarter, but I just want to add a note that you guys can see for the unlocks. They go based on price point of what I offer, but for the rewards, they're all exactly the same. 10% off. What does it say? 10% off next $1 plus purchase up to $20. 10% off next $1 or more purchase up to $20 off. 10% off next $1. All of them are the same. And I did that because if somebody's already spent the dollars to unlock the next tier, I want them to be able to use that reward on anything that they're buying next. And so every single tier, the reward is set to $1 minimum, because it's as if to say the next purchase is 10% off, right? You don't have to worry about how much does it align. Just whatever you buy next, you get 10% off. And now buyers can choose what they want to use it on, right? So they don't have to use it on the next purchase. Say that the next purchase is $1. Maybe they'd want to spend that 10% off on a next purchase that's like $100 to get a bigger, free shipping essentially. They can choose which purchase they use that reward on. And so, but from my end, super simple. And I think easier and more simple for the buyers to just go, okay, my next purchase, whatever amount it is, it's 10% off. So that's one thing. And then the other thing is I went with 10% because I think 10% is a nice, fair percentage for buyers and sellers alike. And it's a percentage base, not a dollar amount, because depending on how the more you spend, the higher the discount. I think that that's totally fair. Depending on what we have, everybody sets it up different. This is just the way that I'm choosing to do it. But 10%, that 10%, I just want to offer, does come out of our profit margin. And so I know a lot of sellers I see doing like 20, 25, 30, up to 50% off. Word of caution here, whatever we choose for that discount, we ought to expect that folks will use it. And if we don't have the profit margin for it, then we don't really have any business offering that. The math has to math, right? For those percentages. And 10% off is reasonable. It's reasonable. And so coming up with a number that is, and I might change these, right? I might change these. But coming up with a number that us as the buyer would be happy with, it's like a token of appreciation, right? And then, but us as the seller is also happy with, right? If we have a 20% margin, and then we offer 15% off, then now we profit 5%. And can we function off that or whatever like that? And so that's how I have this set up. And I hope this is encouraging to anyone setting up your rewards. If you have some setup that are similar, or anything you want to share about yours, or any critiques or any of the things, please don't hesitate. This current season is only going for like 6-7 more weeks or something like that. So maybe we'll do an update and kind of see how it turned out. I do anticipate a little more. I'm going to try to get a few sales shows in to de-stash a bunch of stuff, wood and jewelry both. Ended up with a bunch of jewelry supplies. And so we're going to try to get these out of the way while we can bundle, while flat rate shipping is still available for this next couple weeks. And so we'll report back and see how these tiers kind of went. Either case, let's cap it here. If you found value with this, please let me know by giving it a thumbs up. Otherwise, I would just like to thank you for watching, and I hope to see you next time, because we're going to be here tomorrow and every day after, talking about lifestyling. So happy lifestyling in the meantime, and I will see you later. Bye-bye.